Good morning. Today is the 18th of August 2021. It is the fourth seminar out of a series of 5. Our special guest speaker today is Suenette Botha. She is an attorney, conveyancer and notary. Suenette is acting on our behalf in the Deeds Office of Johannesburg, and as she stated in her presentation, she's the hands and ears of Jan L Jordaan Incorporated in the Johannesburg Deeds Office. The presentation is about 17 minutes. It's all about the Deeds Office, how the structure works, etc. So sit back, enjoy, and I hope it is as informative to you as it was for me. Thank you.
Good day, my name is Suenette Botha. I'm a conveyancing attorney and I attend the Deeds Office on behalf of Jan L Jordaan attorney every day. You can say that I'm their hands and feet at the Deeds Office. The purpose of this presentation is to give you a better understanding of the structure and day-to-day operation of the Deeds Office. The primary aim of the South African property registration system is to ensure that ownership of immovable property is documented and protected. Records of all property transactions and other real rights, such as, for example, a right of lifelong usufruct or a servitude registered over an immovable property, are registered and kept in the Deeds Office. The government, by implication, guarantees that the person who has been recorded as the owner of a property in their records is, in fact, the owner. Apart from property information, the Deeds Office also keeps a record of all antenuptial contracts. The Deeds Office is a government office that forms part of the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. There are 11 Deeds Offices in South Africa, with the head office being in Pretoria. Every Deeds Office operates in a specific area, and these Deeds Offices are the Cape Town Deeds Office, the Polokwane Deeds Office, the Kimberley Deeds Office, the Nelspruit Deeds Office, the King Williamstown Deeds Office, the Umtata Deeds Office, the Johannesburg Deeds Office, the Pietermaritzburg Deeds Office, the Vryburg Deeds Office, and the Bloemfontein Deeds Office. The Johannesburg Deeds Office is located on the mezzanine level, floor 22, 25 and 26 of the Marble Towers building, on the corner of Pritchard and Von Willich Streets in the Johannesburg CBD. The person responsible for the overall functioning of all the deeds offices that I just mentioned to you is the Chief Registrar of Deeds, who is stationed in Pretoria. She derives her powers from the Deeds Registries Act and the Sectional Titles Act. The responsibilities of the Chief Registrar of Deeds are the following: oversight and governance of the various deeds offices, formulation of policy and legislation, providing corporate support, coordinating service delivery, providing and monitoring formal deeds training. Let's take a look at the hierarchy in the different deeds offices throughout the country. At the head of every one of these deeds offices is a registrar of deeds. In Johannesburg, the registrar is Mrs. Makaziwe Ntuli. The registrar is always assisted by deputy registrars. The registrar, together with the deputy registrars, assist Deeds Office staff with legal advice in problematic matters, make decisions and rulings about the day-to-day running of the Deeds Office, and they issue circulars setting out procedure and detailing practical requirements in complying with legislation. Conveyancers are also consult them regularly for guidance and assistance with problematic matters. Next in ranking are the assistant registrars. There are 13 of them in Johannesburg, and each assistant registrar is directly responsible for the senior and junior examiners who fall under them. The senior and junior examiners would go to them for advice and guidance, and the assistant registrars are also the ones who actually attend the execution room every morning from about 10:30 to physically register matters by executing deeds of transfers and bonds, etc. Let's take a look at the deeds registration process. Once the payment of the purchase price is secure, the conveyancer arranges with the bond attorney and the bond cancellation attorney for simultaneous lodgement of the deeds at the deeds office. The deeds and documents are all stamped with the number that the deeds office had allocated to the specific firm in the top left-hand corner. The deeds and documents are then placed in the cover, and a unique barcode is placed on the cover for tracking purposes. The property description and details of the simultaneous transactions are also written on the cover. Transfers are lodged in a white cover. Bond cancellations are lodged in a yellow cover. Bonds are lodged in a blue cover. Notarial deeds of cession of exclusive use area and antenuptial contracts are lodged in a green cover. The deeds office charges a prescribed fee for every cover that is lodged. Here's an example of a lodgement cover just to give you an idea. You'll see that in the top left-hand side corner, the firm's number appears. Jan L Jordaan's firm number is 465, and that will be stamped on the deeds cover as well as all the documents that you insert in the cover. The property description will appear here. It's very important that you put your property description on the cover. The names of the parties will appear here. And you see that it's a transfer, a BC, and a bond. The firm numbers are written in here. You'll see that Jan L Jordaan attorney is doing the transfer. They are 465. The BC attorney's lodgement number is 121, and the bond attorney's lodgement number is 389. Here you'll see that it's a batch of 3, and this is number 1 of a batch of 3. The tracking number is put on in the bottom right-hand corner. The examiners will stamp their names in here, their names as well as their room numbers, so that you know where to locate them if you need to have a note removed. And here you'll see is provision for the senior examiner to indicate whether he's rejecting the deed. He'll stamp an R in that block, or if he passes the deed, he'll simply put his signature in this block. And that's more or less what the deeds cover is about. Only once the conveyancer has the complete batch of simultaneous transactions together does the conveyancer hand it in at the lodgement counter, where it's scanned into the deeds office system. On the same day that a matter had been lodged, it goes to the data section, where deed searches of the seller, purchaser, and property are done and inserted in the covers for the examiners to look at. The purpose of these searches is to ensure that the parties' details and the details of the property which are reflected in the conveyancer's documents are correct, and that there's no sequestration noted against the party or any attachment on the property. Thereafter, the documents go to the distribution room, which I would describe as the machine room of the deeds office. In the distribution room, the documents are allocated to the various junior examiners and scanned to a specific junior examiner's name. Every junior examiner receives a daily quota of 37 matters to examine. If the junior examiner discovers a mistake on the documents, that there are outstanding documents, or simply requires a further clarification from the conveyancer, he or she will raise a note on the inside of the lodgement cover. Once the junior examiner has finished examining the documents, he returns it to the distribution room, where it is now allocated to a senior examiner and scanned to the senior examiner's name. This is level 2. Every senior examiner receives a daily quota of 59 deeds to examine. The senior is also entitled to raise notes on the inside of the cover. Depending on the notes raised, the senior examiner will then either pass or reject the deeds. Errors in the property description of and the description of the parties, as well as supporting documents which are legally required and were not lodged, are regarded as material errors which would justify rejection. Examples of instances where the notes raised do not justify rejecting a matter are if the pages of a deed were not numbered, if the conveyancer's legal practice number was omitted, if the property description was omitted on the lodgement cover, or if the date was not written in full on the power of attorney. Also, if there's an error in the conditions which requires that the specific page should be retyped. Once the senior has finished examining the matter, the documents are returned to the distribution room. If the deeds have been rejected, the distribution room forwards the documents to the deliveries department. Once the documents have been scanned out of deliveries, the conveyancer will collect the documents and take it back to the office to deal with the notes. If the deeds have been passed by the senior examiner, the distribution room will forward the documents to the preparation department, who will put the documents in the specific firm's preparation box for the conveyancer to collect. One would then say that the documents are on preparation for registration. Conveyancers collect their documents that are on preparation from their prep boxes. They check whether there are any notes to be dealt with. If there are, they comply with the notes and take it down to the examiners to remove the notes by scratching through the note, endorsing their name, and signing at the bottom thereof. The conveyancer notifies the office of all the matters that came on prep on that specific day, as well as of the last day by which the documents have to be registered. This date has been stamped on the cover by the preparation department and is always 5 days from the date that the matter was scanned into preparations. Matters can thus not be held over on prep indefinitely and will be automatically rejected by the deeds office system if not executed within 5 days. Once the conveyancing secretary has checked her file to ensure that there are no outstanding requirements, she will instruct the conveyancer to put the matter forward for registration. The conveyancer gets a complete batch of simultaneous transactions together and hands the batch in at the preparation counter for final black booking and registration the following day. Matters may not be put forward for final black booking after 11:30 in the morning. only once the deeds office had checked that all notes have been attended to and removed, and that the data section had checked that there has not been any change in the status of the parties of the property, do they scan the documents into final black booking, which means that the matter is ready for registration. The documents are then thrown out into the different firms' execution boxes for registration the following day. The conveyancer collects the executions from the execution box. The deeds are executed, in other words, signed by the conveyancer, either on the last page of the deed of transfer or the bond, or in the case of a bond cancellation, the conveyancer executes on the cover. The conveyancer then once again gets the complete batch of simultaneous transactions together and hands it in at the registration desk in the execution room. No registrations may be handed in after 11 o'clock. As previously stated, the assistant registrars attend the execution room every morning between 10:30 and approximately 12 o'clock to sign the deeds that had been handed in for registration. Once the registrar had signed, registration or cancellation had taken place, and if the matter should actually not have registered for whatever reason, it is too late. Either a rectification transfer would have to be done, or the conveyancer would have to bring a court application to seek rectification. After registration, the documents go to the numbering section, where a registered document receives a unique number. For example, in the case of a transfer, the number allocated to the new title deed will be T458/2021. The registrar's seal is also embossed on the last page of the title deed and bond documents in the numbering section. From numbering, the documents will go to the data section again, where the details of the previous owner will be replaced with the details of the new owner, and the new document number that had been allocated will also be captured. From there, the documents go to the micro scanning department for scanning purposes, whereafter it goes to the delivery section, where it's scanned out of the system and delivered to the conveyancer. That's all from me for today. I hope you found this presentation informative. I would like to thank Jan for the opportunity. It's really a privilege to be associated with the Jan L Jordaan team.
Thank you, Suenette. That was really informative. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you are entitled to 1 CBD point if you watch this video. Simply send a WhatsApp or an email to Kim Skuman, and she will see to it that you get your certificate. May I remind you that September is the National Wills Month. You're more than welcome to phone us at any time and set up an appointment, and we will draft your will at no charge. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you. Bye-bye.